Alright, hello. Welcome to the stream. We are just gonna be playing some more 2 cent, 5 cent today. Nothing too crazy. We getting started here. Probably gonna try for an hour today at least. Button we are gonna open. We do get one call. Let's go to the flop, shall we? There we go. Alright, so we are 3 ways. It is possible that somebody has a jack. Little worrisome. It is small blind and big blind. So they probably have more jacks than I do, I think. Well, maybe not. I think we have as much as they do. I think we open it. In a 3-way pot, go small. Definitely possible. Guy, middle guy is probably what I'm worried about the most. And now 3 spades come up. A lot more dangerous now. Check. Roll, keep it small. If number 2 bets here. Interesting. So any spade gets the flush, so we're not doing great here. I think that donk bet is fine. Micro stakes is he's just saying he has it. We're just gonna believe him and move on to the next hand. Thankfully we didn't put too much money in. Only about 5 big blinds there. Let me know if the audio is too loud. I think it's loud in my ears, but I don't think it's very loud in this. We should be okay. And we get another openable hand here. Last the RNG. The RNG is above 50. That's full. RNG says try it again. Again. Oh, we take it this time. Nice. 4-5, we're not gonna play. Pass on. Pretty passive so far. Only been in it. We really don't know. But all we have to do is get to about what is it? 140 big blinds to make our goal of $150. After that, we are going to try multi-tabling on stream. I am a little worried. I will need to test it a bit. Make sure. I think the biggest hurdle is the streaming. I think what it'll mean is I'll have to switch to top capture mode rather than in the window. King high with 9-7 off. He's the one who bet, so we're gonna bet this here. Hurts. An ace 4. Close to this. No need to make this pot big. He bets here. He's saying he has like a jack or a king. I think we could beat a jack or a king here. Or, well, I don't see what we beat here betting other than a pure bluff. He is betting a bit. He's betting 150% pot, so no need to call him on that, I don't think. We do get a raise from the cutoff and a limp. In the small blind, I think keep the king queen off. And we whiff. I think this is going to be a big blind spot to bet here. The opportunity. Normally a flop that the big blind would want to bet. I mean, I guess since he called RFI, he's range isn't as wide. I think the dealer has making the smart move of just showing any aggression. Whittles it down, takes out the two blinds, and next to him, he does c-bet for half pot. So double barrel here, showing a lot of strength. But it's kind of a weird flop to do that, and now it's two paired, so like an ace would just be the kicker. Possible he has a 7 at a pair of 10s, okay. Yeah, actually that on that board, triple barrel I think makes sense. He had most of us beat. I mean, he was near the top of his range. He opened, I guess, and nobody challenged. Or no, he didn't even open. Free spot open. Interesting. So monotone board. I'll pull work I've been doing on Go Plus, trying to ooh. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself there. I did a couple runs on GTO Plus, like database runs, so trying to like aggregate spot of trying to study like positions and how they hit different flops. And so I have some good solve data, and now I need to get it out of GTO Plus and into something a little easier to use and study. I'm going to write a Python program next to parse the data a little better. Here's what I kind of have so far. So I have some code that takes, you know, this tree and puts it into a rank and puts it into a texture. And so I think then the next step is to study by these rank and texture for different positions and see how that goes. An 8-5 from under the gun when we are hijack is not good enough. Continue. Hopefully everybody's day is going well. Happy Friday. We are just playing some 2-cent, 5-cent here, trying to do some play and explain. Sticking to some basic ranges. Trying to work on our bankroll challenge. We are almost at 150 bucks. We started at 100. Once we get to 150, that's kind of the first tier in my challenge. So we will try multi-tabling once we get to 150. Then we'll basically stop multi-tabling if we lose more than 5 buy. So the 5 buy-in is like a stop loss. Once we do that, we go back to whatever mode we were in previously. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's gonna be a little more stressful, but I think it'll also make for a more interesting stream. I'm kind of another weird flop, 10 high. So and another not great hand in the big blind. Essentially just check fold this and wait for another flop. I noticed that on YouTube videos, like almost every poker player will or almost every YouTuber and like Twitch player, when they like fold a hand, they'll say, "Live to see another day." Like this phrase that I've caught myself saying and realizing that it's very like tropey, especially in like poker streaming. And so I think I'm gonna spend like the next couple weeks trying to like write better alternative. That's it. You guys can help me out in chat if you can think of any. Like, live to bake more cookies. Live to pet my dog another. I don't know. Gotta be better saying. Live to see another. I like live to bake more cookies. Live to see more memes on the internet. You don't even have to start it with live. You can say like, you will okay. I'm just rambling here. Waiting for a good hand and ace-7 offsuit blind. Well, we'll raise it. We'll play it if it folds to us. If the button opens it, fold. Alright. Little gutsy here. We're gonna go to the flop. You get 2 pair. So I think we just c-bet it. See what he does. Okay. I mean, there's the backdoor diamond draw. There, king 10 just made the straight. So I think we want to punish any straight draws or flush draws that could get there. And we'll see if he... Okay. Very possible he's there now. 10, 8, and 10 king both get there. I'm gonna check to him. Not super happy here. I think we call with 2 pair. Ah. Time bank. Well. So we called, bet. Definitely in the big blind. Probably has 2 pair, but I think we have the higher 2 pair. Yeah, there we go. And he had the missed straight draw. Interesting. Well, that was stressful, but we did win. I think the fact that we had the highest 2 pair is what made me call. If we were Jack Queen or 9 Jack or something, I think I possibly folded there. Thankfully, you just had the missed straight draw, so I guess we did the right thing by betting turn, because we basically put him on a draw, which was correct. But what I was thinking is that he had... I mean, I guess, like, I had mentioned the 2 card combos that he had. I didn't really think about the 1 card combos he had. I wasn't sure if he had the gut shot open-ended, or like I wasn't sure how many cards he needed, if he needed 1 or 2. I guess that's so. He did need 2, and he didn't get them, which was nice. So we will pass on the 2-4 and start our stream with an extra 20 big blinds. Hold here. We are short 3 spots, so I am essentially just going to leave the table if nobody fills these next 2 spots in a couple minutes. Yeah, I think that dealer guy was a little mad that he lost that spot there. He had he had 10 jacks. We had definitely no flush draw. King 8 from the low jack. We roll it, we'll play it above like a 50. Because we're short-handed here, things get a little more interesting. The math is definitely different. My charts do not like exactly apply here. We get 1 pair and a backdoor flush draw. I think we will. I guess I should have c-bet there. We have positional advantage. Or sorry, we have range advantage. Compared to the button. And he checks. I'm gonna. It's a tough spot. I'm definitely showing weakness here. The fact that I did not bet the flop. I'm gonna check here and kind of hoping that he bets here. And then I think I check raise him. Or I think I call and then bet big on the river. I would expect him to bet here. So yeah, I think we call and then bet the river. Is he just going to time out? Definitely should have bet the flop. Yeah, he's just going to time out. Bummer. Okay, so now I bet because he... There we go. Definitely should have bet. I mean, middle pair? Yeah, I had range advantage, so I think I just missed that. I think that was a missed bet on the floor. Alright. So we do get 2 spots filled. We're hoping for 1 more spot filled here, but maybe we'll stay in a little while longer. Don't think we call. It was 2-3. Chart says call. Also, this guy's just being weird. I think he's like not. Maybe he has a bad internet connection or something. Taking a lot of time on every move. Hey, bot. I'm gonna rudely look at my phone. Dang. Eights. So we definitely didn't have a hand to play there. So let's just we'll watch what happens here. So it's big blind under the gun and cut off. cut off bets. Big blind calls. Big blind does have a big blind is gonna have a pretty wide range here. Do you have any spades? Does he have like? I don't know. There's certainly a flush draw. He could have had like a 9. Oh wow, the other guy had a. I was focused on this guy. I just figured this guy was. He's betting big. Yes. Curious what's good enough for this guy to keep calling all the. Maybe he just had nothing and just always losing his money. And 5 will. Hopefully all your days are going well. Friday. I am planning to just take it easy tonight, and tomorrow we'll have friends over. Should be good. It also, I think, oh yeah, so I had an interesting story. That was downtown today. Went to the dentist, but it turns out that I put in the wrong date on my calendar. Show up and they're like, go away. You don't have an appointment today. So I walk back outside and think, well, I need, my hiking boots are about 15 years old. 10 years old. I think I got them in college. So yeah, 12, 13 years old. And I think I need hiking boots. REI's across the street. Let's do this. And I get in there and it's an absolute zoo. And I was kind of shocked, and I kind of overheard like one of the employees like talking to their other employees, and they were kind of shocked too. And they're like, "Well, I think it's because of the mask news." And yeah, like I look around, and sure enough, like maybe half the people are masked now that the new guidance is out. I think that things are gonna start changing, and I think that all the naysayers, all the people who talk shit about Portland, I think that they're gonna get proven wrong pretty soon. As like Portland's already picking up. I was downtown and it was hopping, and then so I go up to like get to the hiking boot section, but it's still all like in COVID mode. So they have like a queue of like 10 people waiting to try on shoes. So I walk away, and go to get lunch, and sure enough, the lunch place is an absolute zoo as well. 4 or 5 people in line, every seat packed. We do have the flush draw here, which is pretty good, so I think we're gonna just bet kind of small here. What happened? We do get, it is a 3-way pot, so I'm a little worried here. We miss our draw. The question is, do we double barrel to try and knock somebody out? And I don't think anybody's folding here, so I think we check. We could try to bet to deny equity. We do make the flush, the nut flush. So we bet again. And we'll just go 50%. Doesn't need to be huge. Okay. I think that our hand was pretty transparent there. The fact that I did not choose to barrel the turn. If I had bet all 3 streets, they might have called me, thinking that I was bluffing or full of it. But the fact that the bet check bet 3 is, I think, kind of transparent in terms of what other people like. Other people realize that you're going for a draw. We are up to 131 big blinds. If we get to 140, we'll be in the 150. We'll cross our threshold of $150. So we are now 5 big blinds away. Kind of exciting. And we'll just take these small pots if people are gonna keep folding to our 6-5 suited. Take it. Looking around at the stats, we see that this player 1 has a 67% BPIP. We do got to be a little wary of that. It is only 10 cards, so 10 hands. Don't have a big data set on them. In the big blind, I think we, well, ranges say we fold here. It was a small bet, so we could have maybe like rolled the RNG and had it tell us, but I think we saved ourselves some pain there because we missed them. Okay. No ace 7-2 pair on the flop for us, unfortunately. Not twice in a session. So yeah, so went to try and get lunch, and the lunch place is packed as well, and I wasn't even in the main part of Portland. I was probably 10-20 square blocks away from actual downtown, so I'm not sure what actual downtown was like, but where I was, definitely picking up. It was good. Downtown Portland really suffered pandemic because it kind of is like a double whammy, like no workers and no tourists. So hopefully it kind of recovers time. We get a backdoor flush draw. I think that we have more. Do we have more jacks in our? I'm not sure. Just take a stab at it and see what he does. Oh, we take it. Okay. And cut off here with 8 jack suited. We'll roll above a 50. And we might have dodged a bullet there. I think the RNG might have saved us. This guy has a hand he's gonna raise with. Well, he's in butt. And 9-7 suited is gonna be an open from the hijack. Kind of weird. Or well, like, I guess. Okay. 9-7 suited is kind of weird because there is a gap. So it's certainly not like for high equity there, but you know, if they're gonna keep folding to our bets, we'll just keep taking the pots and not complain. We just really need, like, there's a break-even percentage, right, where you just, based on your bet size, like, as long as your opponents fold a certain percentage of the time, like, you're winning even if you lose every hand that you play. That goes past that bet. And so feels like we're kind of looking at our graph, it's up and to the right as we're just like kind of winning all these little showdowns. Or we're winning all these little pots without going to showdown, which is good. We want one up and to the right. We are about 1.5 big blinds away from $2. Past $2 for 140 big blinds, and we will be at $100. I won't switch to multi-stream right in the middle of this stream. I need to test it offline and iron out any bugs. We do. So while I was talking, big pot playing out here. Being all in, and we're gonna get another all in, and it's aces versus queen 5, and the queen 5 take. That guy got saved on the river. Aces cracked. I bet that guy is not happy. don't think we call queen 7 here. Now we do need to also be aware that he is a big stack. And he's also not necessarily, like, he's kind of a wild player. We have him at playing 60% of hands, and based on that hand, he went all in with queen 5. I mean, he had it, but still, he's the type of player we need to kind of spot and tag. So I'm gonna put a note here. What should we make our note? Plays anything, looks to plays anything, holds on irrationally, that's heavy. Okay, queen 10, 2 pair, takes it away. We have 10-6, not going to be enough to play. Just trying, we're bleeding a little bit of chips here. Our trash hands, we got king 7, queen 7, 10-6, all off suit. Hopefully we get some more players in here and this guy fills up so we don't have to pay as many big blinds. And player 4 does bet. Same player 4 that just lost that giant pot with aces. So let's see if he is tilted and throws all his money away. There's 3 hearts on the board. Need 2 hearts is it. Would have all 3. And neither one had any hearts. Kudos to you guys. Man, under the gun. Painful, but we just don't have a good hand to play him with. And it seems like 2 people are like sitting out. I think this guy will activate once the big blind comes to him. But hopefully we'll get a 6-person soon here. Keep playing. This is, so yeah, I was right. This guy waiting to post the big blind. So he's in now, so at least now we have 5 out of 6. That's not bad. Our ranges should still adjust, but I have not like studied how to adjust my ranges, whether I widen them or them. And then facing a cold 3 bet, Jack 4 is almost absolutely never gonna play here. Checking my notes and confirming. I mean, certainly we could do it. So player 4 calls. It is a 3-bet pot. Certainly this flop benefits him. He realizes that and he bets it. Slash C betting. Was rainbow, now we have a second heart. We also have now at least one possible straight with the 7-8. Can't imagine him going all in with 7-8. Or sorry, 3-betting with 7-8. Oh, but the other guy has it. Nicely done, sir. That's the other, like, what's interesting and what I'm definitely worried about is, you know, at these lower stakes, all in means you have the nuts. And you just avoid people, overfold to people who are going all in. It's easy. But if you overfold at the higher stakes to all-ins, you're going to lose a lot of money because a lot of people... And that's going to be a lot more stressful. I'm not gonna lie. It's going to mean a lot more variance, swings. Kind of like this pace of play, where it's beatable, but also like gambly. But you know, poker's a gambling game. Gotta get over our fear and jump into it. But thankfully, we still have a ways away. The idea with the bankroll challenge is to get basically work our way up to 40 plus 40 big blinds, which is 60, or sorry, plus 60 buy-ins before we move up stakes. And we are only at plus 10 buy-ins. We still got a while. Say that right? Plus 40. It's in the Twitch notes, in the Twitch profile. Have it here. This is the plan. The idea is that we will move up at 60 buy-ins for each stake. These are the stakes. Move up at 60 buy-ins for each stake. And tabling, I think I might get rid of 4 tables. Stick with like. But yeah. So anyways, now we have a bettable hand here. And is no one's gonna call us? We get folds all around. We have been pretty passive, and this guy 3 bets. With ace king off, we probably are supposed to 4-bet him. Oh yeah, we're gonna 4-bet him. See what he does. If he has pocket pair, he's just gonna take it. If he has pocket aces, he's gonna take it here. But we just hope he doesn't. See what he does. That's all our profit, but it is what the chart says to do. We will follow the chart and hope it doesn't lead us astray. It does. I don't like this. Don't like it at all. I think this is where we have to go all in. I think we are losing at this point. You can just call. So here's where I think he's actually beating us, because he probably has a pocket pair. And so I think this is where we just have to fold. So I suppose that we... At least we did not lose all our money. That is good. Yeah, here we lose to any pocket pair. He could just be completely bluffing us. I'm gonna mark that in our poker chart. I think that we made a good call in calling and not going all in on the ace king offsuit. If it were kings or aces, I think I potentially could have, well, I probably would have called him anyway too, but I could have gone all in according to the charts with ace king or aces or kings. Don't feel great about that. Well, I'm surprised that he 5-bet us. That's not normally, that's not standard. Did he also 5-bet us a weird amount? Normally, if you're gonna 5-bet, you go all in. Hold this. I definitely marked it as what did he have. I'm gonna punch it in. So if we had ace diamonds, king of spades. If he has something like pocket queens and above, pocket queens, pocket kings, pocket aces, or ace king, then we have 38% equity. So it's probably a good call, but then when the flop came, like what was it, like 7-3-2 or something, our equity goes lower to 30%, and so I think we are just a bummer. I gotta suspect that he's not bluffing that easy. Not 4-betting a. So if anything, like if he had a pocket pair, he had his beat. He had ace king. Split it. Probably not really worth the shove. Just a bit frustrating. So we go back to where we were at the beginning of the session. Get a little humble pie. And have to bake some more cookies. Have to pet some more dogs. Take it. Okay. 6-5, let's roll it. Above a 50, we do it. That's according to the chart. Chart says 6-5 suited under the gun is open in some cases. Not just tilted. And we take it again. Okay. We're letting this climb back out of our hole. Donated to this guy up top. That was a crappy flop. I guess anything short of an ace on the flop we're hating, right? Even king high. I mean, that's how he played his other pocket aces hand, right? What happened? He went all in and lost. All right, so we got queen 7 in the small blind. Openable if it folds to us. Healing again. I'm definitely find out. I think he had to have a pocket pair to go all in on that. Can't imagine. All right. Okay. Nope. We will live to buy another pair of shoes. We get our teeth cleaned another day. All right. I mean, variance is gonna happen. You're gonna get ace king, and he's gonna get aces, and happen. But I'm really curious if he bluffs. He just, I would tip my hat. I don't think he did though. I mean, looking at some of these stats here, that was the only check. Well, okay. He does c-bet the flop 55% of the time. He does 3-bet the flop, pre-flop 4% of the time. So, but he 4-bet us. Does he? Yeah, he. I should not play that. It's right on the edge of our range. I probably should have. Guy is just gonna. Almost feeling like I need to switch tables or just stop for. I mean, it could be that he's just picking on us, and he could just be like 3-betting us anytime we open. So maybe that's what we need to figure out. In the small blind, we have to. Okay, we're on the button. Nothing again. Then again. Yeah, so he was giving us 20% pot odds on that. Really under 5-bet. 5-bet us called. Normally a 5-bet should be a shove. But he was giving us 20% pot odds. And we had 38% equity. So theoretically a good call, but then he's giving us 30% pot odds when he shoves. And we have 30% equity. So probably, I mean, it's so according to that, it says it's a coin. It's break even, but I'm sure I'd be very surprised. Base 9 offsuit. We get a hand. Best hand, but a hand. Friend folds. We get 3-bet. With king queen off, sorry, so he opens against us. We 3-bet. See what he does. He calls and we whiff yet again. Check for pot control. And again, not a great card. He doesn't want to go to the flop either, or he doesn't want to bet either, so I don't think he's folding there. Maybe if we bet the ace. Folds. I think I should have considered bluffing the ace there. Especially since I had 3-bet. Just tired and probably need. So we will let's open this and then this will be our last. There you go. Go out on a win. Let's I'm gonna switch into explanation mode and maybe like poke around on this. The other one. So move. Okay. So what this is basically output of a solver. And so the solver is mainly focused on basically these things here. And then we put this data in ourselves. And what we did is we basically picked 111 hands, or flops, I should say. And we gave it 2 ranges. And mainly, so we gave it basically, what I wanted to look at is I wanted to look at the position where I am on, so a crazy person is on the button. So it folds to the crazy person, and the crazy person has this range, which is pretty wide, 65%. And then we are in the big blind. And so according to our chart, we basically, these are the hands we are playing. Now, I didn't really factor in like a 3-bet. I just kind of assume that we call here, and it's like treated as a single raise pot, and we just call everything. We don't 3-bet the blues, even though that's what we would do in a real hand. Because I didn't want to then go and modify the other guy's range. And so you could kind of think of this as like it's an idiot who's just going to call anything. So even if we 3-bet it, he just calls, snap calls, regardless of what. Even with something queen 5 offsuit and 2. So that is the premise, and then this is the outcome. And So yeah, I think I haven't actually spent a lot of time with this. I just kind of got the formatting done. And mainly what I wanted to look at is like, okay, now this unfortunately is from the perspective of the villain. So it's saying that, okay, in the villain's spot, it's going to check 42% of the hands and bet 58% of the hands. Bet is going to be a small bet, like a third pot bet. And so maybe some things to be, mindful of is like, okay, where does the computer overbet? Not doing very much overbetting, that's for sure. Like 2/3 pot and bet full, these are all like 0%, 3%, 2%. But like here's an outlier. So let's filter sort by the bet. And I'm here. I want to sort and filter. Sort by like bet two. Like almost, it's never almost betting full pot. So let's just look at two. That's pretty. We're gonna go largest. So basically, these are the hands that it is going to overbet, or well, it's going to bet heavy. And now we can kind of see, like, I think maybe the way to read this is these are essentially like the strong. So what is strong for the villain here, and when should we be wary? And so it kind of looks like something like Ace King Jack two-tone is going to be the scariest board, and it looks like kind of Ace King 10, also an Ace High High, and then like King Jack 10 are all. So this kind of suggests a pattern to me. They're all two-tone. They're all high and connected. So and looking at the range here, let's maybe punch some of this in. So if we have this guy's range, we put it in a flop of, like, for example, clubs, king hearts, jack heart. Sorry, I need to get. That's why I was confused. Okay. Now I can see the chat. Cool. So essentially the and then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna look at this flop and we're gonna see like what how their hand breaks down, and I'm gonna do that actually. Can I do that? Look, let's punch in our second rank. So it appears that the solver seems to disagree with Flopzilla, and I'm not entirely sure why here. The solver says that the villain has 44. Sorry, the solver says that the villain would have 56% equity, whereas it almost looks like it's flopped in me. Ah, okay, I did screw it up. So range 1 is the because the hero is or say yeah. Uh so the first opponent is the hero out of position. I don't know if you can see that here. So basically these are the ranges that we're looking at, right? And so I am in the big blind with a sane range. The villain is in the button with an insane range. And so the solver is telling us that we have the advantage when the board is ace high high two-tone, and that we should bet that advantage. Our advantage is specifically about 56% equity versus 44% equity. That makes a bit more sense here. That matches the Flopzilla numbers a lot closer. The Flopzilla is like taking a lot less into account than the solver. So, and actually, two ranges. We want button open. Okay, 56%. There we go. Now they're exactly right. I'm kind of tired here, but I think what is interesting is, you know, taking a look at what is the solver betting. It is betting things like ace king in that spot. So even though we have, and it is betting it most of the time. I mean, if we look at this board specifically, so let's take a look at the database. Pull up player 1. Clubs. King of hearts. Jack of hearts. Here it is. I found it. Okay. So now, basically, when we're in the big blind, we're out of position, so we're at a disadvantage to the button there positionally, but we have a tighter range. And so we have range advantage, and it looks like that's basically what the solver is pressing. The solver is basically saying, like, solver is betting a good chunk of the time simply because I mean, I think just because it has range advantage in the pot, and it's betting really big when you have like ace king, and then especially on this board that makes perfect sense, right? So you have two pair. It's basically saying like, okay, it's going to be betting all the straights, betting all the sets, two pair. It's even, so what's interesting is like it's checking three of a kind more than it's checking two pair. Probably because your hand is probably less disguised when it's a set, and your opponent might be a little more scared, whereas two pair, your hand's a little more disguised, and you probably are going to get more chips, potentially. So, yeah, and then it's starting to basically check its weaker middle pairs, check almost all of its weak pairs. And then the middle made hands are kind of weird to look at because you need to look at, okay, it's going to be betting flush draws, especially like the lower flush draws here, betting more than the higher flush draws. King 10 9 7, it's checking more, and Queen 7 6 5 4 betting more. That is probably because your hand. Well, with the queen, you also have the straight draw, so you kind of have equity either way. They just have more equity there by making either the straight or the flush. Yeah, and then there are probably some bluffs in here. I mean, I think the way to think of bluffs from the perspective of computer is that they are mostly semi-bluff, meaning that they still have overall equity. They have options. They have like outs, and in those outs, you're going to make a lot of money. So over 1,000 or 5,000 times, you'll still net money even though you lose this specific. Right? And so the computer then in turn, by that logic, is going to bet things that have plus EV long run. And so I think what's important is just like being able to spot a flop and then think through like what yeah, like what could my, or like what is my range in this spot and how does my range hit the flop, rather than how does my hand hit the flop. And when you're thinking about how does my range hit the flop, then you can like basically make more semi bluffs and kind of make more like better plus EV decisions. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm trying to glean some more insight from here, and my brain is just, oh, sorry, you're out of energy for today. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend some time writing. So like this Excel sheet, I had to craft from hand. What I'd really like to do is make scripts that write these Excel sheets for me, so that I can dig more into the solver. Because it would be really interesting to say like, okay, let's pretend that our villain so position, let's say we, and now this has our opponents holding a lot of his garbage, but, and so then basically like now the next step would be then like take this spreadsheet and potentially like export it. So, and actually, so this is the database distribution. Sort by equity, and then player one bets. Now basically we can then go and export this spreadsheet as well to Excel. We just like copy the like duplicate. Fill in button. And then what we're gonna do is huh. Well, I think I got some work to do. So I think I'll call it for today. And thank thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Sorry I ended early, but hopefully we can get some more streaming in on Monday.